Hey guys, thanks for tuning back into Pixel Rich Games. Like the title says, I think this is by far the weirdest piece of farming info that I've uncovered. Let me give you some context first behind the idea why I did this experiment and what it is for. What we are testing here is how the sensor registered material drop rate seal works. So let's say we run a mission with 500 bokoblins, and usually we target with our sensor the materials that we know drop in that mission so that we increase those materials drop rate, right? Pretty standard and basic so far. So we can target up to 10 materials as we see in this section right here. Now let's go back to our example. We target 10 materials with, let's say, like 10% drop rate for argument's sake. And then we add 64% sensor registered material drop rate to all of them. So now, those 10 materials should have like 74% or 16.4% or however way the game computes it. Bottom line, we increase all their drop rates. Agree? Okay, now what happens if we only target one material? In theory, that should drop more because its drop rate will be higher than everything else, right? Okay, so it's time to test this. For this experiment, we're going to the mission Defend Zora's Story. This mission requires 2 champions, so our first one is none other than Link, and we'll be running this weapon. 64% sensor registered material drop rate, 18% monster part drop rate, and 18% battlefield specific material drop rate. Best farming weapon base in the game in my opinion. The second champ we're running is Patricia and Rigi using this weapon. 64% registered material drop rate. The advantage of running her is she isn't attack speed dependent, so using a farming weapon on her doesn't make her feel sluggish. I picked this mission just because I was farming for sneaky river snails. I did max it out in just a few runs if you're curious. I'm also buffing up with food to get that sweet 45% additional material drop rate. So for the first 10 runs, I'll do it like I usually do. I target all the battlefield specific materials in the mission and then monster parts that I want. Pretty standard, right? These are all the materials listed, so let's go. And we're back. After 10 runs, these are all our harvest. In this video, this will be our baseline. And now that we have it, we can start the test. This time around, instead of targeting all of them, I'll just target sneaky river snails. So at this point, in my mind, take note, in my mind, there are 2 possible ways this would go. 1. Sneaky river snails increase significantly and everything else drops. Or 2. Sneaky river snails stay in the same range and everything else drops. Alright, let's go again and see what we get. There and back again. Okay, these are what we got this time. Now let's compare our totals to our baseline. Let me show you the difference in percent so it's easier to grasp how big it is. At first glance, it looks pretty okay, right? But if you remember in my other videos, a 15% difference really means literally something next to nothing. What I'm saying is the increase that we see for sneaky river snails isn't significant enough to consider. This is the same for armored carp, thunderwing butterfly, electric garner, rugged rhino beetle, bokoblin horn, Lizalfo's tail, and possibly Lizalfo's horn. Then we see a significant decrease only for bokoblin fang and moblin guts. So as you can tell, our results don't really go with the 2 possibilities I mentioned earlier. Now hold your horses, here's the weirdest thing about this test. Aside from moblin guts, a rare material, when I was farming, I haven't maxed out Sneaky River Snails, Armored Carp, and Rugged Rhino Deer. Don't forget that I only have Sneaky River Snails targeted. I can't really say if this is just pure dumb luck, or if the game just wants to help me a bit and reward me for being loyal. To wrap this up, I think it's still safe to say that we are able to add an additional option when farming. If you want to get more of a few targeted mats and are willing to lose others, just target those with your sensor. You'll end up getting like 10 to 20% more of the mats you're looking for, but lose 3 to 5% overall. But if you're the type who wants to get the most out of each run, target all the mats you can and just do an additional 1 or 2 runs to make up for the 10 to 20% loss. I don't know if you agree, but I still find the result here really weird. Anyway, thanks again for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you find it useful. Hit that bell to get notified whenever I have new content out. See you on my next vid. Stay healthy, keep safe, and God bless us all.